I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I Am Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, and many more things I find to be in the same domain of creative business and all other kinds of ventures. This is episode 50, so yay, a huge yay for me, I guess, and every one of you for listening and helping me through Patreon to keep on going with this podcast. So I reached episode 50, which is a full year, over a year of making I Am Gaming podcast episodes. When I hit 52 or 54, how many weeks are in the year? 52, I guess. It will be a full all around year, but 50 is also a nice benchmark as well. So a lot to thank you for, especially again for the support I get on Patreon and all of you who keep donating money to this venture of mine, which is supposed to actually help everyone who's interested in these topics and kind of allow them to be merged in a same space, even though this isn't often, in my case, in my experience, done on other places. Of course, I'm not doing it that well because, hey, the podcast isn't getting super stupidly popular, but that's fine. You just need to keep on keeping on with everything, including my podcast and including me. Which is why I decided to make a special episode, which will be more a teaser trailer kind of a thing, where I actually present an idea for my new project. Now, I often talk about different projects that other people are doing, my projects, ideas about projects, how to make ventures and endeavors that can stick with you for a long time, things that you can invest your time and energy, even at some point your money, without making sure that you get bored or burn out to a point where you simply decide to quit, which is, in my view, the worst thing that can happen to any project, no matter how good or bad it might be at the starting point. This project is going to be all about creating a Twitter bot. Yep, it's going to be a Twitter bot which will create automatic messages and post them on Twitter using a super cool platform. I already did an episode about it, which is Cheap Bots Done Quick. You can find an episode that covers all of that. It was episode 48 if I'm not mistaken. I already employed it, saw how it works. Now I'm going to create a whole Twitter account that will be automated and which will start pushing out messages. Now I'm not sure exactly what topic it will cover, but it will be something related to all of the topics that I'm presenting here. So it will be something with the gaming industry, entrepreneurship, maybe even gaming nostalgia, some kind of a creative venture, maybe something related to game design. I'm still cooking up ideas in my mind, but I'm starting on it real soon. So a future episode 51, will be about that project, and I hope I can do a small series where I actually follow the development. It's not going to be a massive thing in terms of the backend. I'm not going to program anything. I'm just going to use the same platform, which is awesome. Again, you should check it out. And I plan to create the same platform, same bot, to not to make money. That won't be its primary message or purpose, not message. It won't be up and running to create any kind of immediate profit. So it's going to be something, I dare to say, more akin to an artistic venture. It might have a possibility to get monetized. I'm going to keep that door open, as always. As any Renaissance artist would say, always think about making money from your rich patrons who are actually fighting wars in Europe against other rich patrons, usually for religious reasons, while actually being about money and finance. But it's going to be primarily something related to actually being fun and interesting without having any kind of a angle for money making or monetization or anything like that. So I hope it turns out into something interesting, but it's going to turn out into something for sure, because I tend to start and finalize projects without being too critical about myself and deciding I should quit while I'm ahead. I usually push things through even if they end up sucking completely, but I think it's important to end the things that you're starting, good or bad, popular, unpopular, better or worse. This is going to be a same thing. So it's going to be a Twitter bot for sure. It's going to have some kind of a content approach. It's going to probably have some kind of psychological element to it as well, being that I'm a psychologist and working in the gaming industry. So I'm hoping it can be something cool, not only for me, it should be cool for me, I'm building it after all, but also for you, to present you the way how the whole process works and how can you as well create a similar Twitter bot, not in a sense of the same content, but in the sense of automating a part of the Twitter content creation, making it fully automatic. This is why I'm going to do a tutorial video while I create this bot to show you how this happens. This is going to be an I'm Gaming podcast episode, or maybe it's going to be a standalone episode, I'm still not sure, but it's going to be a video on my channel. So that should also be useful to people who want to create their bots as well, no matter what their content might be. All of that should be incoming in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to start working on it pretty soon. I'm guessing it's going to be this week, but I'm not going to give any final dates, because when you do, then you just end up missing them and looking stupid to yourself and to all of your audiences. So that's going to be the next chapter of I'm Gaming Podcast, a new project, a Twitter account, a Twitter bot that should be hopefully at least marginally interesting to you, but even if it's not, it will showcase how this process of bot creation is actually taking place on this platform and why you should do it yourself if you're interested in something like that. That's all for episode 50. So this is a teaser trailer, some kind of foreshadowing of the things that will come. Hopefully you found it interesting. It's not that interesting on its own, but hopefully you'll find the whole project interesting once it gets going. But in any case, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being on my channel. If you're a first time viewer, please subscribe. Also consider supporting me on Patreon. Also check out in the description below all of my Patreon supporters and their projects. They have amazing Twitch streams, games, and many more interesting and exciting ventures you should check out. Links are in the description. And yeah, thank you so much. If you decide to support me, $1 per month would be perfect if your kind heart could spare it. My name is Ivica. Again, this was all for episode 50, and I hope I see you on my next episode. Until then, have a great weekend. Bye bye.